Hello and welcome to the Primetime Podcast with SML Nostradamus. It is fitting that my first guest on this podcast all time is SML Nostradamus Woods. What's going on, brother?
What's happening, my brother? What's going on?
Oh, not much. It's playoff time, playoffs, and it's my favorite time of year, as you know. And you are
Yeah.
one of the best predictors in the SML. So I think everybody's excited to hear kind of what your predictions are and all that. But first of all, basically every spot is locked up. Do we have confirmation that you're the number four seed, and what's going on with that?
From what everybody's saying, I am, but I won't trust Madden until we advance and it says I'm playing whoever. So
Yeah.
it
Uh,
could either be me, myself, or NYT. So hopefully it's me, so I can have a second division title to my name. But I need to make some noise in the playoffs.
there's a lot of people, there are a select few people saying you paid ZZ the Great to force that advance, which helped you out later on. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, Peapods unite. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things like that happen. It was an unfortunate mistake. Like I was telling NYT yesterday, I think that kind of hurt ZZ too, didn't it?
It did. It did.
Because I think he took a loss in that too. So
Yeah, it definitely
I don't think someone's gonna purposely sacrifice themselves to when he was kind of in the hunt at a point. So it's an honest mistake. We'll give ZZ one, and
yeah.
hopefully it won't happen again.
Yeah, it won't happen again for sure. Before we make our predictions, I think it's fitting to ask who. I'm not sure if you have Daddy Leagues pulled up, but is there anybody off the top of your head that you know that didn't make the playoffs that kind of surprised you that you expected to be here?
Um, Let me actually pull up Daddy League so I can tell you.
Personally, to fill a little bit, I'm looking at Future Empire, and I feel like I've talked about Future now for months, and maybe even dating back to last cycle as a guy who is expected to dominate and he just hasn't done it, and maybe just Madden isn't kind to him the way Madden plays. It's not the way it plays like he used to, and he hasn't adjusted. But Future Empire, I'm
Yeah.
just used to being a staple that's no longer a staple.
Yeah, I can agree with that because in this cycle, I've yet to beat Future.
Yeah.
Everything, our game's either been a 3 point game, a 7 point game, or I think maybe a 10 point game. I played them each season, and it's a loss. And this season, or was it last season? Well, this season he started out kind of hot. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
towards the end of it, but it's like, whoa,
Yeah, it's
what
shocking.
happened? But
That Raiders team's rated 85 overall. They've got obviously Henry Ruggs and Josh Jacobs is 95 overall. So they have some weapons, and I don't care what his record is. Never been a time when I'm playing Future Empire where I'm happy that he's on my schedule, no matter what his record is. That's for sure.
yeah, there's no time where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I got Future. No, it's always off. It's like, what? Because there's to me with Future, and especially with this Raiders team, you can kind of key in on Waller, but everything else is you don't know. Hey, well, I know he's gonna run on this down. He does a really good job of mixing it up on offense, and that kind of.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not telling people the blueprint, but if I'm not good at recognizing your pattern, then I may be in a little bit of trouble. But
Yeah.
all in all, he does a good job of it. I just don't know why it's not translating to playoffs or playoff wins or even a division title.
Yeah, no, I agree. So looking at NFC, let's talk about one NFC. For me, I've got to say Dallas. I know I stirred the pot a little bit to hype it up, my game against him, but Grams did go 7-9. That is a little surprising to me. Grams typically a playoff staple. His first losing season since he's been in the SML. That's what he says, and I believe him because he has been so consistent. Do you see Grams kind of
Yeah,
turning it around?
I hope so. I am shocked that he didn't make as much noise as I expect him or am accustomed to him doing. Because for some odd reason, I thought him and Rowan's records were reversed.
Yeah.
But after Rowan beat you, I was like, well, wait a minute, Rowan's 10-5.
Yeah.
Well, where did this come from? But that's just me not paying much attention to the NFC because I was embroiled in my own battle for mediocrity to win this
Yeah.
division over here. But that does surprise me a lot. Honestly, and a lot of people may not agree with me. This might be a bit of a hot take. Mike was 8-8 last season, correct?
Yeah, or close to it.
I thought this season he would at least go 10-6, 11-5, and be in that playoff picture. That surprised me too. I think for me, Grams and Mike, given what Mike did last season, was a shock.
Yeah, once again, those are two guys just like Future Empire. When they're on the schedule, you're not too happy to see them. No matter you just know it's going to be a heck of a game. They're going to come ready. They're going to come prepared, and it's going to be a close game. Um,
Exactly.
so looking back at the AFC, two guys new to the playoffs this season, this cycle. Matt, he's 12-3-1, and Noel Overlord
Hmm.
9-7. Um, Obviously Noel, I play him first round. Matt, he's gonna play Pauly. Which of these guys is most likely to kind of make some noise? Do you think?
Uh, I think Matt will, just given the fact that he's bullishly committed to the run, and he sneaks in some good passing plays every now and then. He's got that team over there. They're playing well defensively, but his commitment to the run is just ridiculous, and he runs it so well. He finds holes that I'm shocked that his running back can get to. It's like there's no way that just happened. Our game we played 4 times because we had disconnects. Our games were close. I had a 17-10 lead. He had a 13-10 lead, and then it was 17-17 again, or 17-14. And then that fourth game when I thought, well, hey, let me just play the run, and he was still able to do it. So I think he'll make a lot of noise if he can stay true to that and throw in a little wrinkle here and there,
Hmm. Yeah.
but not get predictable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's gonna. I think there's gonna be a point where he has to. He's gonna have to make some throws to advance
Yeah,
and proceed in the playoffs and to win to win a Sombardi at some point. I think he's gonna have to be
yeah,
able to
he's
throw
gonna
that ball. So,
have
so
to chuck it down the field.
looking at the NFC now, you've got some big name flyers. You've got Dookie. You've got Faz, Vaz, Dump. Rowan meets Royce is back in the dance. The new guy, Q Pierce. Who do you think is going to end up when the dust settles? NFC Championship game. What's your prediction for a big matchup in the NFC?
NFC, I'm gonna shock a lot of people here, and if it plays out this way, 'cause I haven't looked at how the schedule lines up, I'm gonna go Minnesota and Washington in the title game.
Okay, so.
Because I think right now, and I know it's Q. I know
Hmm.
he's getting a lot of hate right now,
Hmm.
but I believe he's confident. And in Madden, I can take you a good long way, especially if you're in a groove as far as play calling goes, offensively and defensively. Then there's certain things that you don't really worry about or you don't question yourself on.
Hmm.
So I think that'll help him going forward. I got him and Faz in the NFC title game. I got Faz going back to a second Super Bowl.
Wow, there you go. Back-to-back Super Bowl appearances for Fast. And I think you hit the nail on the head there when you look at what mental state is each user in.
Yeah,
I can look back to last cycle. I forgot when, but Meats was, and he gets a lot of crap, folding chair, whatever. But he's a very
yeah,
good player, very good player. And I remember there was
yeah,
a year when he was 13-0 or right, right around there. He usually is. And I put it on him. I won by like 30 points, like week 16, and then he like he went one and done. And I feel like your psyche can really affect how you play, and it can start to snowball and that's a very underrated part of this game that people don't think about.
it is, and I will give you a prime example. I was hell bent on taking my rookie throughout the entire season and say, hey, I'm gonna live and die with him.
Hmm.
And it was, I forgot what game it was. It might have been against Noel actually. He was just he played like a rookie, and I was like, I can't do it. Just bad throw after bad throw, and I made a bad decision because of my mental state, and brought in Donald, and I'm like, oh, got nothing to lose here. Donald proceeded to have a very good game. I went with him throughout it, but with the mental state of, hey, Donald can actually do this. What have I been sitting on the damn bench for all season?
Hmm. Yeah.
It helps you going forward because against NYT, I like I'm throwing the ball
Hmm.
no matter what, and luckily it helped, and I got some bad throws from Lamar, but psyche helps, and if you can win, trust me, you gain more confidence. If you get that one blowout, especially against somebody like you or Dan or Dump,
Hmm.
it hurts because you're like, well, can I really compete with these guys when it matters?
Yeah.
And you take that going forward. You're not looking at the opponent in front of you. You're looking ahead like, oh well, I have to play Prime or Dump next, or even Bomber. Like, hey, can I do that? And when you're doing that, when you're thinking that far ahead, and your mental psyche's fragile, you're not gonna go far. You can look for one and done, and like, yeah, it's over.
I, I I can agree with that. I remember when the fabled Memorial Day miracle happened to me. I was so sick of Madden. I didn't even want to play anymore. For a whole season, I just loaded up and I felt like you get the demon in your head of, oh, this game's out to get me, blah blah blah, and then you just
Yeah, yeah, that.
and then you
Here
let it
we go.
snowball. Yeah, it's like, oh, another
Yeah,
holding, stuff like that.
yeah,
So moving on to the AFC, we got some tough teams. Bombers been to the AFC Championship twice. Dan is our Super Bowl winner. I have yet to win a playoff game this cycle. Matt's new. Paulie, he's won some playoff games. He's tough. Noel Overlord's back in the
yeah.
dance. What's your thoughts on the AFC being an AFC member, and what's your predictions?
I I want to go. I want to finally go and bet on myself.
Wow.
Given our game earlier in the season, I want to say I beat Bomber maybe 28-21. Um, I'll take you over Noel
Hmm.
and Paulie. I've got Paulie over Matt,
Okay.
which it didn't sound like I should take him, but this is their third time playing, so Paulie's not the type of guy to not be prepared a third time around. Not saying that he wasn't before, but
Right.
I think he'll have something in store for Matt this time around.
So that would leave me versus you in the second round, and Paulie versus Dan. The battle of the two best preparers in the SML, I would argue, Dan and Paulie.
They had a pretty good game early in the season. I don't think that one will be a complete blowout. If I had to guess, anytime Paulie plays, it's usually low scoring, so I'll put that one 24-20. Dan.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. So we gotta ask then, what's your AFC Championship matchup, and who plays Foz in the Super Bowl?
Um, don't be, uh don't make me lose my perfect 5-0 record here. I want to say you and I played to a 35-31 game with you winning, and I think you take care of Dan again, but not as handily.
Yeah.
I think that one goes 31-27,
Yeah.
and you five Super Bowl, you win 30-28.
Wow.
Last minute field goal to win.
No, that paying you before you came on the show was just really good, man.
It that
It paid
it
off for
worked.
sure.
That half of your stimulus check is definitely the win.
So you got the Colts winning. Let's say I get knocked out. Who's your top three most likely to win? Let's say you have the Colts at one. Who's your next two then, just for fun?
if for some weird reason I beat Bomber and I beat you and I play, let's say, Dan,
Yeah.
then it would have to be Dan. Either you, Dan. I put Bomber 3A and Polly 3B because that something I'm not to say it's bugging me about Polly, but Polly's so meticulous in his gameplay. I
Mm.
think he can get you to lull you to sleep a bit and rattle off some wins to where you're like, whoa, Polly's in the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
So
I played Paulie a few. He beat me pretty handily actually a few weeks ago, and I had never been just so annoyed because I could feel his meticulousness throughout the game, and it was making me mad, and I played bad because of it. So that's
yeah,
something.
you get like, wow, come on.
Yeah, it's
Because
real.
I
Go, go on.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like it's, and I'm not taking a shot at KJ here, but it's what KJ wants to do, but it's just a better version of that.
Kate, and this people probably laugh at this when they hear it. If KJ gets that Steelers team to at least 70% of what he wants,
Yeah.
a lot of people in trouble. And I name myself as one of them because that slow, methodical play calling, like, all right, I know he's gonna run. If he gets 6 or 7 yards, I'm calling a run defense.
Hmm.
Then next play, all right, he's running again. I know he's gonna play action me here. And if
Yeah.
let's just say he gets a Madden catch or anything like that, then that's when you're playing into those guys' hands because they're not going to change. And the more anger builds up or frustration, and we know I can get frustrated,
Hmm. Hmm.
it helps those guys. It helps those guys out a lot.
Hmm.
Because,
It's
like I said, I lost to KJ this cycle, and it wasn't fun.
Yeah, he can sneak up on you, and like you said, if as long as he keeps it in check, it's like I feel if a team were to
Yep,
beat Alabama this year, which it didn't happen, but they would need to play like
yep,
KJ plays, is just keep it in check, 3 yards, 4 yards, convert your third downs, and that style of
yep.
offense is boring, but it can win freaking games if you
Yeah,
do it correctly.
it can win. It can win a lot of games, and weirdly enough, he 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 YOLO'd me last night. He went for it on fourth down and got it. And thank God, I think I either got a sack or I got a holding call. And instead of it being 7-7, it was 7-3. And it's like that holding or sack. I think it was a sack.
Hmm.
That is, it's like it sucked all the momentum out of the offense,
Hmm.
and the game just took off from there. It's like that sack or whatever that was just
Yeah. I,
it took the momentum out of it. Because if he had scored, I was probably gonna be in for a long game last night.
I was gonna say I watched up until a lot of people seen the score and thought it was a blowout, but that game was close for a good while. That game was
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Uh, moving on to my final topic. As we near around 19 minutes on the podcast, what player in the SML that just has a bad record do you see improving the most next season?
Um,
And I'll go first. I have no problem going first. I'm gonna say Death Wish. I see Death Wish as a guy who's competed with me, should have beat Meats, probably should have beat myself. He's beaten
yeah.
Dan before. Death Wish, his team is good too. It's not like he's got a bad team. So if he can
No, he's got a good team. Yeah.
if he can limit mistakes, I think that guy could do some damage.
I'll actually agree with you on that one. I was either gonna say him, KJ, or Tiny. I've got to see what Tiny does draft wise. But either of those three, but out of those three, I'll go Death Wish because Death Wish does have he's got a pretty good play style and he does have a very good team. I if I were him, I'd probably grab maybe a speedster in the draft as far as wide receivers go because
Yeah,
Keenan's old, Mike Williams maybe turning what 28.
yeah.
Just get a burner to kind of take the pressure off those guys, and I think I forget the running back's name.
Uh,
He's superstar, what have you. Why am I forgetting his name?
Eckler.
Yeah, Eckler. Eckler's superstar, so he's got a pretty good running back. He's got a young quarterback, the superstar as well. Just shore up that defense with the maybe another corner or defensive line. You're set.
Yeah, I agree. So that's all we've got. I'm gonna leave an open mic now for you to make any
Well, I
claims.
got a question for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had a question for you.
Uh-oh.
You don't have a playoff win yet this cycle.
Yeah.
Is there mounting pressure on you to where you think it might be a bit harmful for you going forward? Is that in your head, or
You
are
know,
you just gonna turn on playoff prime and forget about it?
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna be. I'm not trying to draw hype. I do feel the pressure. Yeah, I do feel the pressure for sure. Like just the human in you. You have 16 of them, but you still got a championship. I probably have 100 playoff wins, but you got to rip
Yeah,
that band-aid this cycle, and I'm gonna feel the pressure. So I don't know. Pressure either makes diamonds or bursts pipes. So we'll find out when I play Noel.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
So yeah, I'm a
You
little.
guys playing tonight?
Yeah, we're playing. We're 9 p.m. Eastern is the game time.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely a little nervous for it. But we'll see what happens. So,
Oh, good luck to you. I got you going all the way, so
so
don't let me down.
SML Nostradamus, he said it. He said I'm going all the way. I hope I can make it true, guys. That is the SML podcast. Thank you, Woods, again for coming on. Always a pleasure to have you.
No problem, man.